that, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's money or not. Somebody calls him and says, I want you to do that. Now you get an email or a text message, you know, are you free on Tuesday, and it's like, yahoo, yeah, I get to do it. You know, so I love work, and so I'm sitting there on the beach, and I get this phone call from a friend of mine. He goes, hey, there's this audition for a trade show in Las Vegas, and I'm doing it, and you should go and crash the audition. And I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm a professional actor. I'm a professional. I never crash an audition. What's the address? And I have no idea why. I honestly have no idea why. I went to this audition late. I got off the beach, you know, I'm late. I walk in the door. The camera is walking out the door as I'm walking in the door with the producer and the camera guy. And I said, hi. Do you mind if I audition for this? And then he looks at me like this, like, all right, come on in. We'll set the camera up. Look, you're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, okay? So, you're gonna have these contacts glued to your face, and when you talk, this gonna make these little roller balls in your helmet start moving, you know, so I'm thinking I've got a Martian helmet, you know, and you'll start moving, and that'll move these little roller balls, and the roller balls will convert through a supercomputer to this cartoon character, this guy named Mario, and when you say hello, he's going to say hello, and you'll have a hidden camera and a hidden microphone, so you can see people and go, oh look, you know, you have red hair, I like red hair, you know, and so you're going to talk to people all day, in all ages, so you make up a voice for this Italian plumber in Brooklyn, and make up a video game. And whenever you start talking, and whenever you stop talking, that's your audition. And I'm like, okay, Italian plumber in Brooklyn. I think they're gonna say, hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink. Don't bother me, all right? You know? It's like, hey, I'm working here. Get out of my face here. You know, and I'm thinking, well, you know, I'm a big believer in not being too harsh, you know, and if there are kids, you're gonna be there all the time. I don't want to be like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, you know, like, whoa, you know. So I'm thinking, I'll do something a little bit nicer. And I was so lucky that I played in Gremio and Taming of the Shrew, a nice old Italian guy in a 1947 adaptation of Taming of the Shrew, where Petruchio is this GI going back to find the bride after World War II, an American GI. So, you know, and I'm like, Signor Petruchio, how are you today? And I'm thinking, well, that's kind of fun. I'll do a voice like that, and I'll make him younger, and I'll just talk about. I don't know anything about video games. I mean, I know nothing about video games except, you know, waka 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 waka, and then you know, and that's it. You know, oh, I forgot. Remember the asteroids where you're spinning around and the asteroids? So that's what I knew about video games. But I'm thinking, well, I'll just have fun. I'll just have a good time, and I'll just start talking, because if I left the beach, I'm gonna have fun. So, you know, I'm sitting thinking about, well, I can just talk about this and that and the other, and all of a sudden I hear action, and I turn to the camera, and I promise you, I said, you know, in the voice that I used today, I said, hello, I'm Mario. Okie dokie, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage, I'm gonna get some spaghetti. You put the sausage and spaghetti in the pizza, and then I'm gonna chase you the pizza. If I catch you the pizza, you have to eat the pizza, then we gotta make another pizza so you can chase me with the pizza. And then we're gonna make a lasagna. And if I make a lasagna, then you gotta catch you lasagna, you're gonna get lasagna. And you know, and I'm sitting there going, well, this is fun. I wonder if he really meant keep talking, and when you run out of things to say, that's your audition. And so I'm kind of a brat, you know, and I'm thinking, all right, let's see how long I'll go before he's gonna say stop, right? So I'm like, hey, and then we'll find a kitchen sink, and we'll take it out, and we'll ride down the hill. And then we'll ride down the hill, we're at the bottom of the hill, we go into the river, and then we'll float down the river like a boat, you know. And I just kept going, you know. And all of a sudden, I hear, cut, stop talking, please. There's no more tape. Thank you very much, we'll be in touch. Which to the actor, of course, is the kiss of death. That means, you know, there's the door, we'll see you later. And so I'm convinced, you know, okay, well, I didn't get that part, but that was a lot of fun. So I left and I went back to the beach to watch the sunset, and he gets on the phone and calls up Nintendo and says, I found our Mario, I got him. And mine was the only videotape that he sent up to Seattle and then to Japan, etc. And I haven't seen that videotape ever since then, but apparently it exists somewhere. And you know, it's kind of like, I think when you are in life, when your conviction is to have fun, when your conviction is to have joy, when it's like, when that's your dedication, is your passion, your joy, your sense of fun, I think that you can't control life, but for sure, good things tend to happen that way. So that's how I became an actor, or became the voice of Mario. And interestingly, I think, to me it's interesting, I hope it's interesting to you, I don't know, but the reason I chose that voice, and not hurting people, is because in my first acting class, there was a guy with a stutter, you know, and it was a terrible stammer. And you know, when, of course, you're beginning actors, you all start talking to each other, you start knowing each other. And I asked him, I said, have you always had that stutter? And he said, no. When I was 21, I went to Las Vegas with my friends for my birthday, and we went to see a stand-up comedian, a very famous stand-up comedian, whose thing was to deride, you know, that there was always negative humor. And he said somehow that he found out from my friends, it was my birthday, so the spotlight came on, I had to stand up, and he comes over to the table and he starts, you know, oh, you look at this ugly kid. Can you believe he's 21 years old? Boy, you know, the abortion that lived, ladies and gentlemen, look at this, you know. And you know, he said I started getting more and more embarrassed, and I was so humiliated. Oh, look at his acne, that ugly, you know, kid, and he's fat too. And he said, and the audience laughed more and more each time the comedy hit deeper to home. And he goes, and you know, I just got more and more humiliated, and more people were laughing and laughing and laughing. And when it was the next morning when I woke up, I had a stutter, and it's like, that's so amazing to me that somebody's performance could have impact like that. So I always feel like in life, it's like you always have impact so much more than you ever have any idea that you have, you know, because you think, you know, I'm just doing this, what I'm doing, but it has this outward wave effect. So to me, it's like, that was the answer to me, is comedy for me. I will never be hurtful with comedy. No joke that I say will ever be aimed at somebody else. It will always come, you know, the wave will always come back. So that was why I chose that voice. Why I rambled on is because I'm a brat. But, you know, but every other actor that did this audition would start, apparently I found it out 20 years later, it would start, you know, it's like, hey, how you doing? My name's Mario, I'm a plumber from Brooklyn, and I'm having a great time, and you know, hey, something like that. And the producer would go, that's it, yeah, thank you, next. Because he had said, start talking, and when you run out of things to say, that's your audition, you know? And that's what they had done when they said, am I doing the right thing? Is they stepped out of it, out of the character, which meant they were out of things to say. And this guy was very little. I just happened to be lucky that I was a brat with the right guy, who's like, all right, go ahead, talking to you, but you can't say anything more. You know? And apparently the cameraman turned to him and said during the audition, he goes, do you think if we left and came back in like 15 minutes we'll still be talking? And he said, let's go, you know? It was cocktail hour after all for these guys, so, you know. So that's how I got that job. And I'll tell you, I had absolutely no idea whatsoever what that would lead to. I had no idea who Mario was. I'd never heard of Mario before. But I think the character, the harmless, sweet sort of character, the everyman who falls in love with the princess, is such a beautiful dynamic, and Mr. Miyamoto really liked that portrayal that I did. And whenever he would walk by at these shows, you know, he'd be walking by with his entourage people, and Mario, I would see him, you know, all the people would just see the face of Mario, and I go, Papa! You know, and so he'd like, son, hello, you know, and we'd take pictures with you know, and then I met him one day, you know, I'm standing in the lobby of the hotel, kind of like, you know, I'm gonna go to dinner here, but I don't know exactly, can't remember what I was gonna do or who I was gonna go with, and I look over and there he is, he's like, you know, and we look at each other, it's like, oh, I know you, and I know you. And so, I wonder, was that, hi, how are you? I said, oh, very much, thank you very much for having me. Oh, thank you, and he's just like the nicest guy in the whole wide world, who's this incredible human being who's created fun and joy and adventure for millions of people. It created this entire industry that was not really alive at the time, resuscitated, created side-scrolling, 3 dimensions. Every game that, ever is played is kind of like out of the, born of the ideas that he does. Such an incredible man, and yet so incredibly humble, sweet, and kind. And, I always aspire to be more like him. Because he's such a great guy, So my life after getting the voice of Mario has been, initially it was just like doing CES, and it was supposed to be like one time. And I tried to be as funny as I could so that they do it twice, and I was lucky enough that they did, and then they enjoyed that in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and so it's been going on for me for like 23, this is like 24th year of incredible joy. And I started just doing the real-time animation things, and then we started doing it at press events and things like that. And then one day, the phone rang, and it said, Mr. Miyamoto would like to know if you would like to play Mario in a video game. Really? Yeah. Are you available next week? Yes, I am. Okay, we'll see you then. Maybe we'll get you a ticket and come up. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye. I was so happy. And that session was this miracle session where all the things that I'd done for 5 years, I got to put in the game. I got to go like, it's me, Mario, and here we go, stuff like that. And we came, the ideas were there. We get a script, and it's like, oh, the script is there, and what are you going to do? I'm like, well, we have these ideas. If you put the controller down, to let the player become aware that that it's going to go into pause mode. And we're thinking about different ideas, maybe sleep. And oh, well, what if he's sleeping? He goes, spaghetti, So oh, that's nice. And then when you see it come into the game, it was just such a joy. It was such a magical sort of session. And that one led to more games, and I love Mario Sunshine, and I'm so lucky because I get to work with these incredibly wonderful, creative people.